high. The highest number we've had as a country in the past was between 250 to 260,000. So having a 40,000 increase is high, but it has allowed us to address some of the backlogs in the system that we inherited, and also allow us to bring even more economic immigrants to address the real labor market shortages that we have in this country and the real skills shortages. If you talk to a lot of businesses, not just the big name businesses, not just the public companies, even if you talk to the small and medium-sized businesses, they'll tell you that they can't get talent. They're creating too many jobs for the workers that are available, and so one of the ways to address that is through immigration. The Express Entry program, which is the federal skilled program, processes applications in 6 months. The Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program also does it in 6 months. The Startup Visa Program does it in 6 months. Provincial Nominee Program has been steadily going up, and now the processing time is between 12 to 16 months. That's unfortunate. That number should be lower. I'm told that part of the problem is the duplication of processing between provinces and the federal government. But as we look at improving client service, we have to examine how we can improve the processing time for the provincial nominee program. It's a really good program that allows provinces to have the flexibility to address the unique labor market needs, but we should improve that processing time, and I believe we are aiming to do better in that department.
Thank you. This one's a little bit different. How do you plan to deal with the stigmas that arise around refugees coming in such large numbers?
So, by the way, just before I answer that question, I'm not just here to answer questions today. Please, if you don't have a question and you have a comment or an idea or a suggestion, please feel free to share it with me, because like I said, we don't have all the answers, and if you feel that we can do things better, please don't hesitate to contribute. In terms of the numbers of asylum seekers who are coming through our border, Canada is susceptible to the migration patterns that each and every country experiences in the world. And it's the one area, asylum seekers are the one area in the immigration system that no government can plan for, because you don't know how many people who will show up at your ports of entry and claim asylum. So I want to tell you, if you take the long-term view, you'll see that in some years we've had very low numbers, as low as 10,000. And then in other years we've had higher numbers. And no one knows really why those fluctuations exist. But I can assure you that our system is capable, both Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada and the Canadian Border Services Agency, both of us work together to redirect resources to pressure points. A few months ago, Emerson, Manitoba was the place which had a high volume of asylum seekers coming in. Now those numbers have dropped, and now it's Lacolle, Quebec. And so for now, our agencies are able to deal with this number. Yes, there is some negative feedback that from some quarters that feel that why are we allowing these people to come in? But the fact of the matter is, Canada has signed international conventions that say that if someone comes and claims asylum, that the least we can do as a country is to allow them to make their case in front of the Immigration Refugee Board. Once they make their case and they have a legitimate case for asylum, then they get to stay as a refugee. If they don't have a meritorious case, then upon exhausting their appeals, they get to be removed. That's also part of the law. So we can't just abandon our international obligations. And we're proud of the fact that we offer a home for people who genuinely need protection. And we know from history that refugees turn around very quickly after the first phase of settlement and integration to give back to Canada, to become Canadian citizens, and to become leaders and business people and academics in our community and contribute to our country. And so I'm proud of the fact that we have a country that is so generous that can welcome someone like myself who came to Canada at age 16, unaccompanied minor, and today stands before you as the minister responsible for the very department that I was once a client of. Which country can do that? It's only in Canada that that can happen. So I'm proud of the fact that, and that is only possible because of the generosity of Canadians. We would never be able to do half of the things that we're able to do as a government on the humanitarian side if Canadians were not as generous and welcoming as they are.